Alright, so this is the third episode in my RFC editor showcase, my modding tool, and I've added a couple new panels here. So I'll first go over this asset manager, where the main goal of using this is to make it easier to add assets to your scene. The props, this includes your props and your tiles, maybe your nodes if you're so inclined. But basically, you can select your RPK you want to import from. You can press this Update RPK Lookups button, and then you can look through every single entry here. So what this import model from RPK button does is it takes a look at the name you put it in here, and it imports it, places it right at this cursor into the currently active collection in the outliner. So if I want this entry from objlib to go into props, I can select props, import model, and it will automatically import it and place it into that, place it on the cursor. Or you can have it import an entire RPK into an asset file, which is in your documents, and mark them as assets, which is using a different system in Blender called the asset browser. So by default, it creates one from Exanima. And if you import objlib, it will create a special props catalog here where you can look through everything. Now, there are a lot of entries in here. I think in objlib there is 4,200 entries, and that might get up to maybe 6,000 total objects in the entire blend file for this. You can also tell it to import images, which makes it take a bit longer, but it's nice to be able to see what they look like. It's especially important for the walls. And if there's anything that's in the asset library, it will be appended to the current blend file whenever you're importing a level, so it speeds up the import process. So if you're to import resource, it would create a different catalog section called tile sets, and it will have all of your wall sets and floor sets, which are basically where these wall models come from, or where these floors come from. So you can also have it import material libraries, which is its own different catalog section. If you were to import objlib without having the materials in the asset library, they will be missing colors. So if you want your props to have more detail, you can import the material library, and it will automatically update the placeholder materials that they have. You can also drag and drop these onto objects. So if I want it to go onto a cube here, I can drag and drop these wooden planks onto it, and it will apply the materials. So yeah, it's a nice feature to have, especially if you're wanting to reuse these materials that are already defined in the game. So with that in mind, you can also just delete the catalogs as well to purge anything you don't want to keep. Like if you want to update a certain model, you would find it in this catalog here. So if I want to delete this GEFS TCA01, I would find the one that's under tile sets and GEFS TCA01. Then I would press the purge button. I don't want to delete those right now, so I'm going to press it. So with that out of the way, we can show you how to actually append or add objects from the asset library to the scene. So it's important to know that you want it to append, not link or pack, because inside these collections, which is just what this little box is, the objects inside of them store the metadata for the model names. So just remember to have it set to append, and you want it, and you need to select which collection you want the assets to go to. So if I want to add this meaty pot into my props, I can just drag and drop. It'll take a second, and here it is. So I can move this around however I want. So let me move it over towards where the spawn is for this level. And I like the snapping tool, or hit B, and I get to snap it to a vertex. Yeah, got screencast keys on. So put that in the corner. So next, I'll go over what this tile or sector panel is. Basically, the tiles, also known as sectors, are these what drives what you see here. These walls, the floors, if there's terrain in this sector, and if it's enterable. So if I were to move things around, since they're all just individual objects, I can do this, I can do this, I can rotate it, I can duplicate the entire thing. I'll do that later. But if you're to move it around and have some sloppy positioning where the tile objects aren't exactly in their expected position, you can press this button to correct them with the contents inside of them, so it'll move these props along with them. Or you can have it move only the tile objects. So I want to have it correct with the contents, and it snaps everything over. Or I can do it with only the tiles. So, why is screencast not working? There it goes. So, there's also this select texture modal button, which basically takes you into a continuous function mode where anytime you click, it will update this panel down here in the bottom right. This is kind of obsoleted by this hotkey here, where you can just press left control or control shift and left click. It will automatically fetch the sector. Now it's important to note that the sectors here, if you do this hotkey, are driven by the objects here. So if I were to select this empty space here, we'll see that there's nothing there. But if I do it again with these here, well, I think it has to correct them. It will populate what it finds here. So it's kind of a hybrid system where you can set what's in here by moving objects around, or you can set what's in the scene by fiddling with these values here. So I guess the next thing to do is to show what happens if you fiddle with these values. So the first four are the walls, and the last four are the corners. So this 7 here is a wall. Change that to a door frame. There's this half wall on that side, and then the other side. So let's go back to the wall. I can also change the variance to be other things. This one has a nice inset face. I can also change the wall set of the entire thing. So let me swap over to PB, UBB01 PB, which it will automatically import the objects. And this is the blue model, I guess, the blue version from the Gentry or Gentry. A for different color. Or you can do this one, which I think is a sewer set. Let's go back to what it was before. You can also change the floors out to be something else. So it'll import them all, and it will keep them, it will remember them if it's if you don't change blend files, that is. So let's go back to what it was before. I think it's PLA1. So I suppose the next thing to do is to do a little showcase where I will create an entirely new room. So how about I make a 3x2 section here and move this little tavern area over to it, copy it over to it to show what this thing can do. So create a new sector here. So let's put it, yeah, that one. So it will import it and place the wall automatically. This will be the boundary set, I believe. Or one of them, at least. So I don't want a wall there. Need a corner piece. It's not the right way. That's the right way. Let me make it a 5x2 instead, so I can show the copy pasting it a little bit more. I'll do the same one. Which one is this? UVMA. So, yeah, right there. Let's do 7, 2, 1. Then I can move over to this one. Later, further down the line, I'll create a draw tool where you can just outline your room, and it will create your little rooms. But I'm not sure how to do that yet. So oh, there's no wall set, so it won't create it. This one again. Yes, that's fine. That one. I want corner there. I believe it's this one. I want an inner corner. Like that. So I can copy paste this stuff. I'll need to move this over here since it's kind of mirrored. I can rotate. Move it over. I forgot to finalize this one over here, so this needs a piece as well. Is that the right one? There we go. And over here, I need to correct the tiles so I can fetch them properly. Nope. This one. So I can copy paste this. 180. I can rotate it. Correct them. And then I can define a new floor, or their floors. Let me go with this one. I think it might be, oh, that's the archives floor, I think. I can go like this. Box mode. Correct the tiles. Then let me add some monstrosities. The prefix is HRTA. I don't really know what that means yet, but I want it to be in the props. Let me add a little mushroom guy. An evil pot plant. I forget what they're called. And this evil head thing. Ugh. So that looks good. I also need to have a light in there. I'll just take from what's already here. So you can also see what the lights look like if you go into render mode. These are actual light objects that Blender takes a look at. They're not quite calibrated to reflect what's in game yet. Not sure what I need to do for that, but sure I'll get there. There are also things that are emissive, like lanterns. The lights are kind of inside of the object, so they get cut off. I need to figure out how to have it cast through these translucent faces. But yeah, you'll really only see the ambient omni lights, the point lights here. So I will also just copy paste the entire thing. Why not? Right there. Rotate, move it over, rotate it around. Then I can line up the doorways. And I'll correct it with the contents. So should be able to just pack this right into resource and create a new arena save, and I should be able to have this funky little demon room and a copy pasted this arena hub. So resource.rpk. Yep. So export. Then we can launch up Xanima. Need a new save because this is a new level. Saves store copies of the levels that they enter. So you enter. So this should have that freaky room with the lights in it. And then there's the strange mirrored thing. I think this works still. Yeah. Wait, that's not the right one. This is supposed to be your where you manage your people, but I guess it's something hard coded. So yeah, I suppose that's about it for the showcase part. So hope this helps. Happy modding.